I don't know any guy that doesn't cheat on his girl. I don't know any guy that is only effing his girl. I've met men who make 100K to 24K to own their own ish to Christian, Catholic, whatever you want to call it. Most men are going to cheat or lie about it. Or, well, cheating is lying. So most men are not going to be honest 100% about it. But most men are going to cheat. And I know this because I'm a man that talks to men, and I know this because your men are lying to you, okay? Most men don't want one woman ever. Monogamy is a global lie. It's not true. Most men are going to cheat on you. This is why if you ask your BF right now, hey, do you want a threesome? He's going to say yes. If he's so loyal and he only wants to smash you, why is he always going to agree to a threesome? Because he wants to smash other women. He just either can't attract them, or he just wants to keep you and not lie. Or he probably sucks and is going to get caught like most men. But monogamy is like the biggest lie ever. It's just a lie that I won't participate in. Like, I would never tell a girl, hey, I'm only going to be smashing you. I would tell her, hey, I'm only going to be like providing for you, but I'm going to be smashing these little chicks.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing why some married men cheat. Now this video is inspired by a particular video that I saw of a woman, an elderly woman, who was saying that married men cheat not because they don't love their wives, but because there are some other factors that just make them cheat.
Men don't cheat because they don't love their wives. They love their wives to heaven and back and still cheat. A lot of them, the opportunity just presents itself. Others, the damn girls outside too won't give these men peace of mind. They pursue them, particularly when you are in power, particularly when you are in position, when you are in power. That's why I felt cross at the imprisonment that Mike Tyson served in the US. It's not fair. What was that girl doing in his hotel room at 1 o'clock? Now Ludo go there, go play with her. Didn't she know what she was looking for? And what Mbappe there now, is it in Sweden or wherever that he went
recently.
to? All these accusations against all these football stars and the rest. What are these, not to talk of groupies that follow musicians, throwing their bras, they're not the wear pants, go, all. They put sex right in front of those people. And if you are not disciplined, maybe you've taken a shot of brandy or whiskey, one too much, and it is there. It's available. It has nothing to do with your feelings about your wife. You love your wife. You love your home. As far as you are concerned, it's just a one-off thing. You even use a condom. This woman, and if you don't use yours, she would have poked the condom, hoping that she would trap you.
In that video, she was, I think, on a podcast, and she was saying that some married men cheat not because they don't love their wives, but because women are presenting themselves to the men, and that the women are not respecting their marriages and just flaunting themselves at the men. And because in our own opinion, the men are weak, some of them are not disciplined. Sometimes when they drink, they just see that all these women are flaunting themselves in front of them, and they just decide to cheat. That sometimes that it's just a one-off thing, and they are not really like continuous cheater, but maybe they were weak at that point in time. That's why they cheated, and it's not because they don't love their wives. Now that reasoning to me was weird, but let's check out what some other people think about why men cheat.
This is why so many men cheat. So many husbands cheat because they didn't marry their type. They married, their Barbara the Builder, but they didn't marry their type. So many women chase after men who don't even like them as a type. So many women are obsessed over men who don't even obsess over them. So I wanted to talk about this because so many people keep asking me, how do I get him to pay attention to me? How do I get him to come back to me? How do I get him to fall in love with me and obsess over me? If he don't do that naturally, move on. You ain't the type. Point blank, period, as the youngsters say. Okay? If he ain't doing that naturally, why are you wasting time? That's like trying to get in a car and get it to fly. It's not going to happen. Stop and go and move on, okay? Stop trying to complicate it. It ain't that serious. A lot of women have to stop doing this, and a lot of other women have to stop allowing other women to sit there and talk about these things with them, because y'all are just wasting time. Okay? And so you should be a good friend and say, I love you, but it's, it's just maybe you're not his type. Maybe you need to find someone else. Maybe you need to do this. Maybe you need to do that. It does hurt. And sometimes we don't want to hurt the people that we care for, but they're going to end up hurting themselves even more in the long run. It costs you time, energy, and money. So go ahead and nip it in the bud. You ever wonder why a lot of these guys marry certain women and then cheat on them with other women? It's because at the end of the day, they know that that woman will let them cheat on them because they don't love themselves and they don't look good. They don't take care of themselves, so they're lucky to be with this sort of man. And meanwhile, he'll tell her, oh, you look good natural. You look good with nothing on. You're good. But every time someone walks by that looks a little bit better or is a little bit well dressed, makeup, hair, they're all googly eyed, tongue sticking out. Why? Because that's what they're really attracted to. Okay? So you can't go for what somebody says. You got to go for what they look at and what you realize that they're attracted to. Okay? So I know plenty of guys who married the plain, homely looking woman and cheats on her with everything else. Okay? Because A, she allows him to cheat because she feels like she can't do any better. B, he looks better than her. And C, she don't love herself. So I hope none of you ladies are that kind of woman. And if you are, and you're, and you've left that situation, it's time for a makeover inside and out. You got to make sure you look and feel your best every time you walk out of the house. I don't care if it's just to run to the store or to the mailbox. Okay? Invest in yourself.
The mistake most women make is sticking with the men they love so much instead of a man that loves them so much. When a man loves you so much, he goes to the ends of the earth to make you happy. But when you love him so much, he only loves you back on his own terms. Listen, as a woman, you can grow in love with a man. Some of you don't know this. Our mothers didn't marry our fathers out of love. Our fathers loved them, married them. These women grew in love while they were married. So it's easier for a woman to grow in love with a man than a man growing in love with a woman. Be with somebody that loves you pieces. My mother used to advise me, marry somebody that loves you more to avoid problem. To avoid problem. You cannot make a man see you any different. He either loves you from the start or he doesn't. Receive sense.
Let's talk about why men actually cheat. Some of y'all are going to get mad about this, but I am here to tell you the truth. Men either cheat to keep their relationship, blow up their relationship, or because they don't want a relationship. The men who cheat to, quote, in their minds, keep their relationship are typically in a long-term relationship with what's called a high-stakes partner. This is your person who's been dating somebody for a long time and they feel like they have to marry her. Now, this is going to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm trying to explain to you why men cheat in their minds. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to explain it to you. They feel like they were sort of forced into this marriage and that there's something better out there. So they're doing their duty in this marriage. They feel like they will lose everything, their kids, their status, their job, their standing in the community, maybe their retirement, if they leave this marriage. They want to keep their high stakes relationship, but they also feel like they're doing their duty, and so they have every right to go over here and get their needs met on the side because they're being such a good guy over here not leaving. That's one kind of guy. The second kind of guy is the guy who's actually trying to blow up his relationship. So he's the guy that is actually ready for the relationship to be over, and he doesn't have the courage to actually come out and tell you up front. So he's ready to get caught. He's ready to go out and have a fling with the entire office staff and his wife's sister and best friend and everybody, the lady at the grocery store, the library lady. He's ready to get caught. He's ready for the blow up. He's ready for her to get so mad at him that she leaves him because he can't bear to be the one to do it himself. That's the second kind of cheater. The third kind of guy is the guy who doesn't want to be in a relationship at all. So let's say a girl will chase a guy, and this is why we say don't chase a guy, right? Let him pursue you. Let him be the one who's interested in being in an actual relationship, because you might get the guy, but never the relationship. So a guy who, he might live with you, he might get engaged to you, but he is not interested in being in a relationship. He is not interested in actually being married to you. This is the guy who is probably still dating like 2 or 3, 4, 5 other people. And even though y'all move in together, y'all might have kids together, y'all could be on a mortgage together, have a car note together, and he will still keep seeing other people. Because in his mind, he is not with you. He has never settled down with you in his mind and in his heart. And this is why it is so important to make sure that you really pay attention to what the man is like coming forward and asking you for and wanting from you in a relationship. Because a man who loves you and a man who wants a relationship from you, he will be asking you for certain things. He will be telling you what he wants in the relationship. He will be, I just made a video about this. He will be consistent. He will be communicating. And first and foremost, you will not be confused. And I can tell you one thing. If you are with somebody who is cheating on you and he's juggling other relationships, you will 1000% be confused.
Is the question.
Why do guys cheat when they are happy?
Yeah, so why do guys cheat when they're happy? Because they're insecure. They cheat when they're happy because they have a hole inside them. They're trying to find the value in themselves, and the only way they find value is by dominating and hunting down primal instincts called sex. So they can't help themselves. They want to feel as if, look, I still have it. Because when they're with somebody for so long, even though they're happy with that individual, it doesn't satiate their void, because they have a hole that will not be fulfilled without work. So they cheat even though they're happy, because they're really trying to make themselves feel worthy. They're insecure. Their insecurity is the problem. That's really why happy dudes cheat, or they're just pigs. Why do good men, happy men in their relationships cheat anyway? Well, they cheat because they have a hole that they're trying to fill, and they're trying to remember that they're worth something, and they use the I like to say dominance, because it's really, you're chasing women to satisfy a hole inside you, and obviously the copulation is the climactic arrival of you saying, see, I'm worth something. I can still get a girl to hump me. You cannot be happy with just one girl because you are not happy with yourself. And when you say, why do happy men cheat? Well, truly happy men don't. Truly happy men do not cheat.
Why do most men who cheat stay? They've often engaged in the affair just for a little bit of variety, not because they want to leave their wife, and certainly not their children. The honeymoon period with their affair partner fades. They realize how big a mistake they have made. Their affair partner gets attached and starts to put pressure on them to commit and leave their wife and children behind. Being cheated on is no fun, and it's well within your rights to leave anyone who doesn't respect your value. If you still want to make things work, there's a very good chance he'll come back home.
Now, in a previous video, we saw some podcast bro guys openly say that they are not in love with their wives, that they are committed to the relationship. Now, I personally think that some of the men that cheat, that are married, are men that don't really like their wives, they don't love their wives, or are men that married the available woman in front of them when they thought that it was time for them to get married. And when they see other people that fit their ideal type of women or fit the type of women that they actually like, they forget that they are married and they lack discipline, and then they eventually step out of the marriage. Because I don't believe that if you claim you love or like your wife, you will not be disciplined enough to say no to someone who is flaunting themselves, as they said. Because there are some women that actually don't mind being the side chick, don't mind being the affair partner, and they would gladly want to sleep or have relations with married men. But as a man who has taken a vow, if you truly love your wife, if you truly like your wife and not just committed to the marriage, you would be able to be more disciplined and be able to say, no, this is not right, and it's going to hurt the person that I like, the person that I love. Now, some of them will step out of their marriage and also want to stay in their marriage because they want the benefit of having a committed wife, and also because they don't want to co-parent their kids in separate places, because they cannot take care of those kids if they are with them, if they have shared custody. And that's another reason why some of those men will want to eat their cake and have it, and they forget that there are consequences to doing such actions. There are consequences to stepping out of the marriage, and they eventually see it later on in life.
Let me tell you something. This cheating thing doesn't do men well. And you can think to yourself, oh, but I know men who have done it and eaten their cake. How many men are growing up and the rates of loneliness in elderly aging men is completely scary, right? So you can't tell me that you are seeing men really truly benefiting. How many men are growing up with their children hating them?
This is the thing.
Bruh, how many men are growing up and their wives completely despise them? How many men have been killed by their wives, have literally got on their conscience the fact that they completely shattered their family? Their children are dealing with trauma. Their wives do not trust them. Even if they're still living at home, they're not happily married. Do you want a happy life?
You enter into the room and people are not happy that you're
People leave. People leave. People leave.
Like a bad odor has entered into the room.
They say, not this waste of space.
Genuinely, like, I think that's
because I need more men to be 100%, attentive to the 100%. Fact that this actually in the long run 100%. Is not beneficial for you. 100%. And if you do not open your eyes to the fact that the men who have done this historically are not actually living well, are not actually happy, do not have companionship in old age, do not have children who would want to take care of them out of care, you would realize that you're setting yourself up for your own destruction. So even if you don't hold women in high regard, hold yourself in high regard enough to actually not destroy your life.
It's so unfortunate that there's some women that are always trying to excuse some men, and we see it a lot in Africa. We see it a lot in Nigeria, where they try to say, oh, men cheat, don't worry, it's just his nature, don't put it to mind. As long as he's coming back to the house to meet you, to stay in the house, that there's no problem, that it's just in the man's nature to cheat. And I find it very, very, very annoying, because they are not allowing these men to take accountability for their action. And it's such a form of, it is actually a form of hypocrisy, because when a woman steps out of the marriage, there's so much uproar and like, why would she do that? But when it's a man, it's oh, it's in their nature to cheat. It doesn't make sense. Cheating is not right, both for male and for female. And I don't know why some women will be part of the people that will try to gaslight the hot party, especially the woman, to accept that that action is right. Anyway, that's my thought about this whole topic. I would love to hear what you think about this topic. Do you think that it's normal for a man to cheat, or do you think that a married man can cheat and still love his wife? I would love to hear your thoughts. So please leave your comment in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.